Hello, my name is Tom.
Hi, I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the couples table.
The couples table is a live stream podcast. Hold on. Here on my YouTube channel. Join us for better or worse.
In sickness and in health. For richer or poorer, as long as they both shall live.
I thought I say in sickness.
I don't know. I don't remember how it goes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the holiday episode of the couples table. Woo, 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 woo.
Wait, I don't have that sound.
Oh my gosh.
You have it.
I have it. Ready, set.
Welcome.
Yay. Hello, everybody. So
Thank you all for being here on an impromptu Wednesday. This is cool. We got a lot of people here. We got Aaron. Okay, just in time.
What's up?
We got Patrick Blot from France. We got Tusif. He's got to eat, so he's going to speak less. That's okay. We got Creators Campfire Podcast.
Oh, what's up?
Streaming at a time we can make. You had an amazing episode yesterday, by the way, that also did super well, which is congratulations.
Who was it?
It was, I can't think of the name right now, or which I feel bad, but it's a tech YouTuber with a quite large following.
Oh, sweet.
And we got Dominic. Play that funky
Dominic.
music. And Patrick says it's a real pleasure from France to see you live. Well, thank you. Yes. Oui. Thank you all for being here. Okay, I think we are all set. I'm going to take off my headphones because I need to monitor stuff, but I also get distracted a lot. You know why?
Why do you get distracted, Tom?
Because I'm a highly sensitive person.
Oh, we're going straight into it, aren't we? James, hello. Happy holidays, Jessica. What's up?
Hello. I'm glad you guys could be here. Wednesday at noon, totally different than our normal 4 p.m. Thursday situation.
Yeah, we get quite a few messages from people who are like, we can never make Thursdays at 4. So I was like, you know what, you're on winter break, babe. Let's do a different one. And also, Tom wants to take Christmas Eve off. We just want to hang out, chill, PJs, no makeup. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what we're doing. So we got our light, we got our tree here, we got our lights. I don't think. For those of you watching...
Do you want to scoot more this way so we can put more tree up in here?
That would be good. Yes, I'm going to scoot over. I'm also, for those of you watching, I'm going to tilt the camera up. Sorry, you're going to see my face. I got this new light yesterday. Oh, where is it? It's up here. It's way up here. It's that big light there. It's like my normal... Now it's too low.
That's too low, babe.
There we go. It's like my normal,
it's like your normal
key light, except it's an RGB light, so we're able to make Christmassy colors happen.
Yeah, do you like the vibe? I like the vibe. We should change the colors every time.
And then I put red and green over there in the corner.
I dig it.
So there we go. But I had just dialed in the colors I love perfectly for my personal channel videos, so I needed to write down what all the hue, saturation, intensities were. So anyway, there we go. Tusif said, it looks like I'm about to teach some Santa. No, I am off. I ain't teaching nobody nothing. You're not going to learn a thing here. And as I got close, Bob said, nice to see what you look like without your makeup. Tom with no makeup? I didn't know he applied any. James and Mark said, no, I'm all natural.
There it is. Look at this.
Yes, just this beautiful European Croatian skin.
All right, Tom.
Yes.
Tom has an agenda today. Okay,
I don't have an agenda. I just try to think of topics so that it's just a holiday hangout.
It's a hangout. We're just hanging out.
We're hanging out.
We are doing whatever you guys want to do. But I think Tom has some stuff to say.
Well, I just wanted to kind of touch on an episode we did a while ago, our anxiety episode.
The anxiety episode, guys, is something that is more so than the other 25 episodes is being commented on and visited for the first time post stream. So that's a signal to me that really resonated with a lot of people. There were people who were commenting on that I've never seen before, and I was getting a lot of DMs. Yeah, who is you? Oh my god, that was so funny. So Tom has a follow up to that.
Yeah, well, I think it was just yesterday. Heather got a comment on there because we talked about our anxiety and what it was like for each of us in that episode. Talked about how it felt for me. Heather said how it felt for her. And somebody left a comment yesterday that said something along the lines of, I've never heard...
Here we go.
Okay, Heather's going to do it accurately.
Never in my life had I heard anyone so completely and exactly describe the way I'm affected by my anxiety until Tom in the first 5 minutes of this stream.
Which really boosted the old ego. But more importantly, I think for me, it's really nice when you hear stuff like that person, it sounds like, got like some reassurance from that description. But me, even though I was the one that said it, also felt reassured because it was like, oh, it's not just you. Other people feel that way as well. Because like Heather's description of how her anxiety manifests was different than mine. And so we kind of discovered that we experience the same thing in different ways.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of how you might have felt when you were diagnosed with ADHD, where it just sort of like made things clearer. And the reason I wanted to touch on that was because in that same episode, somebody in the chat, I don't remember who exactly, so I don't want to just randomly assign. Because one of our regulars said, like, hey, Tom, have you ever heard of highly sensitive personality types? You might want to look into it. And I did. So
Tom is highly sensitive.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so take that for what you
like.
Here's the thing, though. So I looked into highly sensitive personality types.
He's got his iPad. Here we go, guys.
I do, because I prepped for this show. And it turns out it's not a diagnosis, but a thing that was kind of like that a psychologist proposed in the early 90s as people who are, let me see, what's a good description of it here? I had it here. Do you feel things more deeply than others do? Which just kind of sounds like ego stroking. Are you easily overwhelmed by crowded spaces and hectic environments? Do you need to withdraw?
That first sentence, like, what is it?
Well, someone who has high sensitivity to sight, sounds, emotional cues, and other stimuli.
Well, because when Tom was reading it to me, I was like, oh, maybe I'm sensitive. So what was the first sentence?
Feel things more deeply.
I was like, oh, I think I feel things more deeply. But then he read the second sentence, or the second part of that.
Seeking out crowds and things.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not me.
Well, it says...
I seek out crowds.
It's somebody who experiences acute physical, mental, or emotional responses to stimuli, which, like, everybody does, but I think it's the level to which you do it. So it even says, tip, if you're thinking that's nothing special, everyone feels that way, you're likely not a highly sensitive person. But here's the thing, though. The psychologist who... like found it? I don't know. I'm not a medical person, but she has a course, a test, like a self-test. Her name is Dr. Elaine Aron, Aron. And so in 1996, she published this test, and it's just, it's a quick scoring test. It's obviously nothing official, but you go through, you answer stuff. If you score 14 or higher, it's very likely that you're highly sensitive.
I want to take this test now.
You want to take it right now?
Let me take this test real quick.
You want to take it right now?
Yeah, let me just take it real quick.
Okay. So
do you know what your score was?
I do.
Okay, let me take mine.
Yes.
Let me see. You guys want to take this test? Let's take this test. Let's share the link.
It's if you just go to hsperson.com.
hsperson.com.
There's a self-test section.
Let's take this test together, guys, and share our scores because we're cool like that. All right.
So Heather's going to take the test.
Okay. I'm just going to take this very quickly.
I'll type it in the Did you type it in the chat? No.
I didn't.
I'll type it in the chat. hsperson.com. It's simple questions. It's not like a math test or anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through it. You can take over. Okay, here we go.
Well, I don't want to give my results till you go, but it's... So, the thing about, like, the highly sensitive stuff. Yesterday, I had to go get an eye exam. I haven't gotten an eye exam in 13 years. And that's because I'll go to the dentist. I'll go to the doctor. I'll go wherever. Not eye doctor. Super sensitive to flashing lights. Really, like... It was a terrible experience. I hated it. And they didn't tell me, like, this is going to be a test with a really big flashing light or whatever. So they're like, look at this X. And I'm looking at it. Suddenly it's like, and like, I screamed in the middle of the optometrist's office in the Costco and was like in pain from it. And they're like, oh, you're super light sensitive. And I was like, yes, I know everything is just too bright all the time and it hurts. And things like that can just be, part of just how you are. It might not have anything to do with being highly sensitive, but the highly sensitive person thing also it's just about hearing noises. The reason I had to take out my headphones, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was like listening to them and I could hear the dog chewing the bone and I was losing my mind. Nobody else cared. But I was like losing my mind over it. Things like that, you just can't like let something go. But also stuff like we broke a dish the other day and I almost cried. Like because of all the sentimentality attached to like the dish.
You're so cute.
Which would happen even when I was a kid if somebody like I remember being 4 years old.
Like,
if somebody broke a cup, I would go running into my parents' room, hide under the bed, and start crying.
The first thing Tom
Which isn't
said,
normal,
there was
by the
like
way.
a crack in the dish. I was like, Tommy, there's a crack in the dish. And he was like, yeah, I guess we have to throw it out. Gosh, there's so many meals eaten on this day.
I said thank you for all the meals.
What does it mean to be unpleasantly aroused? Like, what? Is there such a thing?
I don't think it means that kind. I think it means like kind of like you can't, your senses are aroused and it's not pleasant. I don't know if it's that way. We get a lot of people chiming in here though. Tusif also hates crowds. Jessica said definitely her. Sarah Nguyen says hi. Bob actually.
Hi, Sarah Nguyen. She's a YouTube coach too.
Oh.
Hi. Thanks for being here.
I was like, the name sounds familiar, but I'm just going to keep going.
I found her, I think it was on Twitter and Instagram.
That's cool.
We should connect. I want to touch base with you.
Bob says she has a book, so you've already looked into this, which is great.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Sisif says, I've always been labeled as the emotional one among my friends, and I eventually learned to hide it, yes. So people stop pushing away, yes, just because I live life with more intensity. And Sarah's saying, take the test. And Tusif said it's funny because your studio is bright. My studio is bright, but there's no direct light on me. Everything is facing away and being bounced back, so it's actually really easy on the eyes to be in here. James said, would you have a hard time Marie Kondoing? Yes and no.
All right. Click here to see your total. Go ahead.
I get to a point where, like, the stress of having too much old stuff gets to me, and then I have to declutter it. So, I donate a lot of stuff to, thrift shops and stuff, and that really helps. So here's Heather's score. Okay. So let's say our score at the same time.
I'm sorry, but this is hilarious.
Let's say our score at the same time. So
okay, so reminder, what's the threshold?
If you get a score of 14 or more, it's likely that you're highly sensitive. The max score is 27.
All right.
On the 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say our score.
So 3, 2, 1 score?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. What's my score? All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, 26.
To me, this makes sense because I feel like I feel things deeper, but like literally to the point where I'm not, like I just don't make the threshold. Does that make sense? So the threshold's 14. I got 13. And that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that actually does make sense because the other things like crowds and excitement and that kind of stuff doesn't bother you. But you do, like if somebody says something or something happens or you feel something, it can stick with you for days.
It will linger.
Yeah.
It will linger.
So I think the emotional part of it's probably really high, and then like the physical part of it is really, because you don't care about flashing lights, you don't care about loud noises, you don't care about anything like that.
I mean, I used to be the one to host the parties and like yeah. But there was stuff in here like if you're in a group, if you're hanging out with a group of people and someone feels uncomfortable in some way, you know how to like ease the situation, or you know how to cater to that person so they feel better. I feel like I do a really good job.
I just leave.
Like I'm such a good host. Oh my gosh!
Leave.
Like I make sure everyone is having a good time. I will go out of my way to make sure that no one feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're really, really good at that.
But I love how you're so. What's the max?
The max is 27. And I got 26.
See?
I forget what the one was that didn't bother me. But it was one of those things, again, not a doctor. I don't know if this is a thing to be diagnosed with or anything, but it was just having been presented as an idea to us in this stream. I read through that, then looked up a bunch of stuff, and everything just kind of made sense, and it made me feel better because just like when the person left the comment about anxiety being, like, that when they left that comment, I kind of felt the same way here, where I was like, oh, okay, maybe not everybody feels this way, maybe not everybody I know feels this way, but there are other people out there who understand this. Reggie did ask, what is unpleasantly aroused?
Right? Like, what does that mean?
David
Oh,
I
hey,
can't say it.
David, you were the one who left the comment.
Oh, well then there we go.
You guys are on
So
the
you're,
same
you're probably
wavelength.
highly sensitive here. Mr. Camera Junkie's here. Hi, Lewis.
Ooh,
If
I
you
like your
guys,
profile photo.
Lewis is great. He's been live streaming every day for like at least all of December.
I caught a little bit of yours because you streamed before Peter Gray.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, you guys. So take this test. If I think just
Also,
everyone
Amir's here.
should.
Happy holidays.
Hey, what's up, Amir? I think everyone should take the test to kind of just get a good, self-awareness. But you know what I'd be really interested to do? We don't have to do this today. So it's clear that I'm not a highly sensitive person. You are. I'm really curious if we took the ADHD test.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
I feel like it'd flip. Because let me tell you how
That's what you
methodical,
think, though. I don't.
pragmatic, logical. I am impulsive.
Here's the thing,
I will
though.
make the parachute on the way down.
I don't think it has to do with spontaneity or impulsiveness. It has to do with being like the other day when you were like, I need to set my camera on this thing here, and you told
It's
yourself
both.
10 times.
That's the hyperactivity part, is
Yeah.
the impulsive part.
But I have also been with people, like I'm thinking specifically of my friend Kristen, who was helping me decorate a classroom, like assemble a classroom, and she was there, and like literally she had to physically walk over and like grab me and stop me because I couldn't finish a thing. I would have like a hammer. Okay, I need to go do this, and I walk over and I set it down and do this, and she was like, "Stop! You need to finish one thing." And I had finished nothing all day, and that's what I do. How many times am I carrying something, and then I'm like, "Where's the whatever?" And it's just like in a random spot because I've just completely forgotten about it. I don't think I have ADHD in the same way that you do, but I think there's definitely something
sure you
there.
can see.
It probably is flipped where it's like, oh, there's like little bits of it here, but not in the point where it's like a recognizable thing. I did want to go though. 3 things you need to know about highly sensitive people.
Okay, what do we need to know about Tom, guys?
Well,
Here we go.
one, being highly sensitive is a normal trait. Approximately 15 to 20% of the population has the gene. It's a real research-based characteristic, and in psychology, anyone who tests as having a very high degree of sensory processing sensitivity is considered highly sensitive. It's the trait of deeply processing experiences and stimuli, and a person with high SPS has differences at the neural level.
Oh, see, this annoys me. I just think of my parents. They used to be like, "You're so sensitive."
And you're like, it's literally
Is that a bad
chemical.
thing? Like, come on.
Well, it says, funny, because point number 3 says being highly sensitive comes with both advantages and drawbacks. Highly sensitive people tend to be empathetic, artistically creative, intuitive, and highly aware of the needs of
course,
others.
yeah.
So much so that many thrive in careers as therapists, counselors, artists, musicians, and writers. But highly sensitive people also deal with overwhelm, exhaustion, and burnout, especially from absorbing or sensing all the emotional cues of the people around them. Loud, crowded, or visually busy spaces can also overwhelm sensitive people. You know how it's sometimes...
See, that's so...
But you know how sometimes I'll say, like, I just need, like, time. I just need, like, I'm so tired. I just need time. And you're like, but you've been hanging out on the couch. Yes, but I've been absorbing and I'm exhausted. And I need, like, if you're upset, I can't make a video. Straight up. Like, I'm like, well, I'll do it tomorrow then. Like,
So here's how I respond to stimuli and crowds and, all these, like, visual things. You retreat.
I was
you
dripping sweat at the optometrist's office yesterday. Literally, like, dripping sweat, panic,
Okay.
heart racing. You can see
You know
in my
whose
watch
idea-
thing, the heart rate shoots up.
Whose idea it was to go to the optometrist that Tom should go? It was my idea.
I need to,
I went
though.
last week, and I had a grand old time, dude. Straight up, I was like, because I used to work in an optometry office, so I was like hanging out with everyone there. The doctor was having a good time. I told her I was a YouTuber. And she was like, "Oh my god, you need
I also
glasses."
had totally different staff. The doctor, like, didn't acknowledge me at all.
I mean, literally, like, there was like people waiting, but we were just talking and having a great
No, I walked in the dark room
But
with the
anyway-
doctor. He didn't even say hi. And then I was like, hey. And he was like, sit down. I was like, in that
Well,
chair?
see,
What
this
chair?
actually like made me think of another. Well, we'll get
Yeah,
into that's
okay.
a whole situation. But anyway, so this is how I respond to too much stimuli. Is like, I get what you mean by you absorb, what's happening around you, but the way that you respond is totally different from me.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, if it is an energetic atmosphere, I will feel more energetic. So if everyone's like excited or hyped, then I get hyped. But you're like, you guys need to, well, not you
No.
need to tone it down, but you need to walk
It's not
away.
so much that. It's like I'm more focused on, okay, there's 10 people who are hyped, but there's this one person who seems weird. Like, I'm worried about how they're feeling, what they're thinking. Are
Yeah,
they
and
not
I'll go
having
up to
fun?
them and be like, yo, Can I get you a drink?
But see, but I can't take that. But then I don't do that because I think like, well, is that going to make it worse? Is that going to make it better? So as a teacher then, with classes of 45, 47 students, and you're just trying to accommodate everyone and reach out to everyone. But that's also why it's just
exhausting.
Yeah.
I know you, babe.
It's exhausting. And that's why, like, literally, even if it seems like an easy day, it's difficult.
Wow, Amir scored a 6. That is so funny. Oh my god. Would you be offended if I said I can see that?
It's not a bad thing though. Just like scoring high is not bad. It's just like it's just an understanding of how you process stuff, and it's okay to be different.
James says Tom was insensitive when he teamed up with Mark to fool me and Heather playing werewolf. Yeah.
No, well,
I couldn't believe that. That was like that went on for
but
like
if
10
you wanted
minutes.
to go with it though, I was actually so excited about the bonding experience with Mark because we got to team up, we got to do something, we got to like Mark and I don't have a lot of opportunity where we're like teaming up on
guys,
something.
Yeah.
And that was actually like
and I know for sure you were excited about that.
Yeah. That might not have anything to do with this, but that's what I was excited about.
Here's a good question.
I have this actually. I actually where did I get this from? The 16personalities.com. You were the one that told me about it, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm a campaigner.
Yeah, I'm the advocate, which is, well, yeah. So if you haven't done it, I'd made all of my students do 16personalities.com at the beginning of the school year.
So I think when it comes to introvert, extrovert, I know this is like kind of cheating, but I consider myself an extroverted introvert because as much as
that's a thing,
as much as I like, I feel like the extrovert is a role I slide into. But if you were to ask me at my core, like, okay, so here's the thing. My former roommate, Prinka, she would never describe me as like
extroverted.
Yeah. Because she was extroverted.
But I describe you as extroverted.
Like, I can't tell you how many times people were like, oh, let's go out, let's do this. And I was like, dude, I just want to sit at home, play games. I just want to watch my movies. I just want to chill. Like, there's a very, there's a line. But when I'm in this situation, I'd be the center of attention for sure.
Absolutely. So the campaigner is ENFPA and ENFPT.
So for all you personality type people, I never remember these letters.
I don't either. That's why
this is me. That's me.
That's why 16 personality is great because they give you the name, like campaigner. The advocate is INFJ. INFJT.
Oh, Eric's here. Oh my god, I was just thinking of you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Eric was one of the people.
Eric is the personality guy.
Me too. We summoned him.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I must have said his name 3 times.
That's so crazy. I was just about to say, like, oh, it'd be funny if Eric was here. I looked up and there you were.
Yeah. And Eric is saying ENFPs, campaigners, often have a very strong introverted side. Just click on Eric's thing, go to his channel.
Guys, he's it's all about like being thoughtful. No, what's your word? What's his word? It's not thoughtful. It's what's your
I don't want to say because I know he's been changing it, so I don't want to.
Oh, really? How would you describe your channel, Eric?
Oh, look, we can wait. Does Ecamm just give you the link right here?
Oh no.
Oh no, it just puts it up on screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like being more mindful and.
Okay, we should have Eric. You got to be on the stream once, and let's.
Oh
break,
my god,
let's break
Eric was a guest
down.
speaker actually in some of my classes earlier this year. It was awesome. I'd love to have you back too. Sarah Nguyen says she's INTJ.
INTJ. What were you?
INFP? INFJ.
How do you guys remember these?
Well, because it's right here on the screen.
No, I know that, but like for everyone else.
Yeah, I don't know, because yeah.
INTJ.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, go to 16 personalities, like the number 16 personalities.com, and that's a whole full-on personality test that I usually don't like personality tests because I really feel like it's easy for someone to almost
it's like a horoscope.
It's like you perpetuate the thing that you cling on to. So if something says like you're outgoing, I mean, you're always going to be able to find situations where you're shy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm incredibly shy, but also very outgoing. Anyway, but when we took that test, there was no way that the advocate personality could fit me.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
It was the most accurate description of anything where it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, they give you a whole
and it gives
essay.
you the good and the bad. So it's
Yeah.
not just like, this is all the reasons you're awesome.
And it's free,
like,
so
this
go
is
check it
also
out.
where, you know, you might struggle a little bit, how relationships work, how employment works, you know, where you find burnout and stuff like that. It's really good. And I had, like I said, I had all my students take it because I thought it was really good and it was an interesting thing. So they're doing online classes this year. So I had 230 kids take it. Obviously,
that's a cool thing.
Yeah, obviously some kids didn't love it, but I was so interested because there was a huge variety. It wasn't like they were all the same thing. Like, I even had a kid email me because he got the same one as me, and he was like, "This makes sense why like I feel so connected in your class and stuff."
That's so cute.
And I was like, makes sense why I understand your work so easily. And they all seemed to love it. You know, obviously if some hated it, they just didn't tell me. But it was, that's a good litmus test. You know, 230 teenagers kind of going through something and thinking it was valuable. Yeah.
So here we are.
Well, I just thought that stuff was cool and it tied
it
into, I didn't want to go too long without bringing it back up because that was a big one for me, the highly sensitive thing, because it not only described like sometimes I feel like my emotions are just absurd, but also physical things.
Yeah, they manifest physically.
Yeah, and how we react to things. We're like, you know, it's all connected, and that was really cool to understand.
And I think like a takeaway for me when I found out I had ADHD is, and I know a lot of ADHD people are going to roll their eyes when they hear me say this, but ADHD is my superpower because I really do believe that like the things that make you different are the things that could also be your strengths. If you are self-aware, if you understand like why you are the way you are, and then also, you know, kind of structure your life so it optimizes for your strengths. Like I did not excel at school because that system doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at you saying that. I was laughing at how you said it.
Oh.
just to clear that up.
But going off of the highly sensitive person, I think that's what makes Tom such a good teacher. Like you're so in tune with how your students are feeling.
Yeah, it's funny. It seems like a lot of people in our chat are similar, but this is, so Sarah said she's an INTJ. We talked about that. Jessica said, I used to be INFJ, but after I got out of a relationship, I became ENFJ. So that...
I think you can definitely change.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I bring it up, because Bob said, I think I used to be INFJ, but I should take it again. It's been a while. And Jessica brings up that point. It definitely changes, and you can change. The personality test that doesn't really capture the nuances, of human life. Yeah, it's a good...
That's why I
it's like it's just a guideline to go like, oh, okay, you know.
I stayed away from the what is it, the Myers-Briggs thing, like for so long because I just refused to put a label on myself. I was like, this doesn't allow you to change. But after I took that test, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's what when I did it with my students, I had to specifically, especially with teenagers, if they're given a label, they could potentially really lean into it.
Yeah, you don't want them. You don't want.
I had to specifically go like, this is generalized, especially as teenagers. Like, if you take it in 6 months, a couple of them took it last year, and I was like, if you took it last year, take it again, because in the past 8 months, it could totally be different. Like, this is just a guideline to kind of help you understand.
I think it's just to be more self-aware.
Exactly.
To be more thoughtful. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, then you can plan around it where it's not it's not a detriment.
Right. You are, these are the things that you're more likely to excel at or prefer. So you can figure out your own method or approach to doing things.
Yeah, like going out in big crowds, like being in a crazy thing like a club with strobe light stuff, I'll lose my mind and like have a seizure. But being around groups of people, I really enjoy that and I have a lot of fun. But it does exhaust me in every possible way. But if I know that then the next day I don't have to get up early, I don't have to worry about anything, I can like recover, then I'm really able to enjoy the social part and be like extroverted because I know that I'm going to get my recharge in the right way afterwards. So, which makes me a lot better than if I don't know that, and then I'm just kind of like nervous and edgy and uncomfortable the whole time, which, translates to other people.
Sometimes it just makes you think deeper than others would. I have learned a new word, nuances. Oh, try explaining that word.
Nuances, it's like small subtle
layers,
small subtleties to something, you know, like instead of being black and white, it's like a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
All shades of the rainbow.
Mr. Camera Junkie says, I'm IDHC. Is that I don't have a clue?
Oh. 29 podcast. My former boss made everyone do the course and the test. I came out as ENTJ. Is that what I was? I can't ever remember, guys.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But it sounds familiar. I don't know.
Again, this is why, it's a processing thing, because you can remember campaigner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took that test months ago, and you're like, I'm the campaigner, but you can't remember ENTJ.
No. Is it ENTJ? I don't know.
Or whatever it was. But that, to me, that's how, that shows, like, how you process stuff. It's the same thing, but just calling it something made it stick, calling it something else made it not stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, where is it? Here we go. Jingle bells happening here.
So there you go.
I just found this stuff fascinating. I want to know more about.
So what should we talk about next, guys?
Well, it is just the holiday hangout. Even if you guys aren't celebrating the same holidays, whatever. If you're celebrating anything, if you got time off, we're hoping it's a good time off. We're trying to figure out a good Christmas meal to prepare. We're going to do our cheesecake that we did for Thanksgiving because it was amazing.
Guys, the Oreo cheesecake that we made was so good.
Yeah.
It was like so good. We were so sad it was over.
So that's why we're going to do more of it. And then we're trying to figure out a good meal, but it needs to be, well, it doesn't need it. The whole thing doesn't need to be vegetarian, but it's for things like this. It's fun when we eat the same thing. Like,
yeah, oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out something. I learned a recipe this week, which is not a Christmas recipe, but for vegetarian tuna, I'm completely obsessed with it. It's amazing.
I know. He's eating it for every meal.
It's just
guys.
chickpeas instead of tuna, basically, and then all your normal ingredients. But, it's so good. You smash them up. It's perfect.
Alan was not logged in as me. He is here now. Let's see.
Oh, good. I was right with Mr. Camera Junkie.
How are the holidays as a married couple?
Oh, this is our first Christmas together. And I was just on the phone with someone before this, and they were like, well, I know it's your first Christmas as a married couple. I know it's a weird one, but hopefully you're enjoying it. And I was like, we're having a great time. Like, this is not, I'm not bummed out at all. Like, this is
I know.
Exactly where I want it to be.
It's crazy because I told Tom this morning, but someone found my channel for the first time, and she commented and said something like, oh, I've been looking for positive channels. I'm so glad I stumbled upon yours. And it was on the video where Tom and I were, like, we had just found out that we were going to get married the following week. And then literally she was leaving me comments, like, throughout the night, like, oh, I just watched you guys get married. Like, you look so beautiful. Tom looks so handsome. And it's like, I love that people can relive that at any time.
That's really fun. That's a very unique to YouTube thing.
Yeah. I can't believe that was this year, though.
Yeah, it feels like
we got married
an eternity ago.
You're my husband.
That's true.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like that means you're my wife.
That's the answer.
It's fun to say. I like it when I talk to people and I say, like, oh, well, my wife will do this. And
I had to make an appointment. I honestly probably just made an appointment for the optometrist for you just so I could say, I want to make an appointment for my husband. What's your husband's name?
Oh, is he going to come in and freak out next week? Great. We can't wait.
I should have came with you. I should have went in with you. And
then after all that, I got, like, yelled at because I was going out the indoor of Costco, which, like.
Oh, shut up. Dominic is the same one as me.
There you go. I thought you were just telling me to shut up about Costco.
No.
Which is what happened when I tried to go out the exit and the guy guarding, because it's not. Trust me, I know Costco has their cult rules of, like, this is how Costco works. But the optometrist thing is right by the entrance. And it's also right by the photo department where I've picked up prints 1,000 times. You walk in, you pick up your stuff, you walk back out. You don't have to go all around the whole warehouse and all that stuff. And I was going out with my, like, optometry papers, and I showed the guy. And he didn't just say, oh, sorry, sir, you got to go around. He said, sir, you can't go out this way. You need to go out the other door, sir. And I was like, guy, I'm already stressed enough.
So you guys, like, I know this is like a scary topic to bring up, but because of this and other scenarios, I have a running hypothesis in my head that
I think it's an accurate one.
Tom has completely different situations from me, and I want, my hypothesis is that it's because I don't know if it's race or if it's gender. I want to say it's a combination of both. But if you put me in the same situation, this young looking Asian female, and then you put a middle-aged white guy.
Middle-aged.
I feel like I look younger. I don't know. We're the same age.
No, I'm younger.
I feel like I look young though. I don't know if I look.
You do look young. You exude youth.
I'm not like saying that like I'm bragging or anything. I think it's just
this has been a thing because you'll do something. You're like, oh, this happened, that, and I go and literally, it's like I got yelled at. Like I got in trouble.
And I'm like, I walked
and
out the entrance and it was totally fine.
I'm not causing trouble. I wasn't like, hey, bro, F you, and like walked out. I was just like, oh, like I'm gonna go with
because let me tell you who's king of not inconveniencing anybody ever.
Yeah, so I
like,
had to go.
If you could be a fly on the wall, you would. And I don't understand how people, like, you always get yelled at.
I always get yelled at.
And I'm like, where, clearly people are yelling at you because you remind them of a previous circumstance.
I don't know.
There's something about you.
There is something about me. I always get yelled at, and it's a thing. I can't remember the specifics of it, but I remember times of like, I mean, even like when I started teaching at my old school, I didn't know everyone on campus yet, and I was walking. I looked very young because it was 10 years ago, but I was wearing a shirt and tie and everything, walking between classes. It was during class time, and I was out walking, and one of the security guards was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to a department meeting." He's like, "Yeah, department meeting. What department meeting are you going to?" And I was like, "The English department."
Oh, he thought
meeting.
You were a student?
Yeah, he thought I was a student. He tried to send me to detention, but it's a lot of like what is it that you're really doing? What's the what? I've gotten that kind of thing a lot by security people. And then of course, if you have cameras or something, people, you can't film here, you can't do that, turn that off, erase that kind of stuff happens. Well, I don't film outside a lot very much anymore, but it used to happen a lot.
Jared is cooking his first prime rib roast.
Good luck.
That's kind of what I wanted to make in the Instant Pot, but it would be a meal for one plus 2 dogs.
Well, you can make it. I can have
no,
tuna.
But I'm not. I want to make a meal that we can both eat. Let's see. It's so beautiful. That was me when I found out Heather had a channel. Aww.
See, your channel has so much value for everybody.
Ooh, doing prime. That sounds so good. Adore. Let's see. Newlyweds. Woohoo. Aubrey, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Oh, Aubrey says she loves saying my wife. It just feels, it's so much better than saying my girlfriend.
Oh my God.
I hated that.
Literally, that was
because especially since Heather works from home pre-COVID, if something happened, like a repair person was coming or something.
Yeah, then it was like, oh, my girlfriend.
They'd call me, yeah, and I'd let them know, like, and I'd have to say, like, oh yeah, don't worry, my girlfriend will be there. And it just sounds like.
It just sounds so elementary.
It sounds, I mean, it really does, and it's also like, oh, which girlfriend is it this time? Not that there were, like, girlfriends, but it just sounds. It just sounds weird, like.
You got multiple girlfriends?
Trust me, no. But, like, I just like being able to say.
Is that what you think people were thinking?
I've just known, like, single dudes who tend to have. There was a teacher at my old school, speaking of my old school, where everyone knew to just stop asking him. Like, he would bring a girlfriend to, like, the staff parties, to events and stuff like that. And it was a different one every time, 4 times a year, every year. And
the plus one.
Ironically, it was the staff person I replaced when I took over digital media. But everybody just learned, like, don't say, hey, are you bringing this person or whatever. But anyway, there we go.
How are you now, Ramirez-Buck? That's a good question. I am Heather Ramirez, and this is Tom Buck, and I did not change my name. Just because, like, I thought about Heather Buck, but literally go to youtube.com.
There is a blonde white girl that has a channel named Heather
okay, and type in Heather Buck, and that, like, I know I just talked about race, right? Like, I just brought it up right now, but I don't know how to say this. Like, I felt like it was denying.
Which is so funny to me, though, because growing up here, I'm like, well, Ramirez is Spanish, which it is. But
everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks that.
Well, there's the interwoven history of, like,
Spain
and the Philippines. But
I don't care that it's not.
I don't know what a But
I feel like Heather is such a, like.
Well, were you named after Heather Locklear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so I didn't want to deal with like, but you know what I do like though? I like it when people refer to us as the Bucks. I do like that.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm Mrs. Ramirez, right?
Yeah, you're a Mrs. regardless of
Yeah.
what the last name is.
Yeah.
Which I like. I'm not a Mr.'s.
Like, I don't mind being Mrs. Buck, but I want, if you're going to call me first and last name, I can't, it's not
I mean,
so much
Heather
that,
Ramirez, maybe because I'm used to it, it does have a nice flow to it. I like the...
Yeah, like Tom Buck is dope. Heather Buck, I don't know about that.
That's true. That's
going
gonna
to
be my channel tagline now. Tom Buck is dope.
Oh, jeez. Okay, here we go. My husband and I are the opposite. I get yelled at, and my husband gets special treatment. Oh, that's funny.
I just get yelled at. I'm somebody who looks guilty. Maybe it's because I'm highly sensitive. But like, I have very distinct memories of like the 5th grade. Okay, so 5th grade, I had a teacher who was borderline abusive.
Oh my God.
And anyway, to the point where literally like he pushed a desk into a kid. He would, if he got mad at us, he would take us out behind the library on campus, which was just sort of like an alley, line us all along the wall, and just start screaming at us till he like ran out of stuff. We were gonna go on a field trip, and he had this chart on the board that was like a school bus with squares in it, and every time we did something good, which wasn't very often, he would color in one of the squares. When the bus was filled, we would go on a field trip. One day it ended with him just ripping it off the wall and stomping on it and yelling. But anyway, that was a really bad class, and I remember it was pretty regular that somebody would steal something belonging to somebody else, and he would pull the like, who stole it? Like, nobody's leaving. And I would just look guilty, and I would just be, and he would just be like, and I would get thrown in with like the 3 other kids who probably did it, and we would be the ones getting yelled at, like, you better like tell us who has it, like, where is it? And I'm like, I just, like, I did nothing wrong. If anything, I was the one who had the thing stolen.
Oh.
But yeah, but that's just been my whole life,
darling.
is getting yelled at by people,
My darling.
by other white people.
Ron is here. What's up? Oh,
Speaking
you're
of
the
beautiful
29
people.
podcast. We just finished our live stream show, and I'm fixing the 25 minutes of double feedback audio.
Yeah, that's fun.
Having a calm time watching you too. Alan, also thank you very much for your absolutely lovely message. I'm sorry I didn't reply, but I swear you inspired an episode.
Yeah, I don't remember
Or
exactly.
I think we like read, I don't know if you missed it.
We talked about it a while, so.
Yeah. Ron, you haven't missed anything. Just getting started.
We were just all sitting around going like, where's Ron? And it was crickets. So.
Eating meals with my partner is one of my favorite things to do. When my BF and I were staying together last week, it warmed my heart a lot. Aw.
That's nice. I'm glad
Tom
you guys
and I
got
never
that
eat the
time.
same thing, so.
But we eat
together.
At the same time,
Yeah.
usually.
And we have to watch a show. Let's see. I feel this.
David.
My wife is actually slightly older than I am, but she's an extremely youthful Asian female, and I'm a 30-something looking white dude whose youth has apparently passed
I think
him
we're
by.
just the same guy.
I know. You guys have a lot in common. This is funny. I like it. Agree, Jessica. Love that.
Somebody
For
left a
art.
comment on my channel the other day that said, you look like an old guy trying to look young.
Babe, you brought this up.
Did I?
This is like the
It
third
stuck
time you
with
brought
me.
this out.
I'm
Are
highly
you insecure
sensitive.
now? You don't, though. You're the most handsomest
That's
man I've ever met.
Darn right.
Look at this gorgeous.
Yes.
Look at this. Sorry. Anyway.
This is what it's like when it's just us.
I know. Let's see. Saying partner outside of friend groups has become a regular thing for me because of people who assume.
That's a tough one, though, too.
Yeah, we tried partner and it was so.
Because I have
just
friends
did
who do
not
partner,
work.
friends who've been together for 9-10 years, but partner raises questions because it inevitably goes to like, the first thing is always like business or like personal. Like, are you business partners? Are you like relationship partners? And then it obviously goes to like, not that it should matter, but like, is it a same-sex thing? Is
Yeah.
it a like not a same-sex thing? Which then is just like, at that point, the person has left. I wish there were an actual term for long-term adult unmarried couples, like committed unmarried adult relationships.
I feel like, I mean, didn't we hijack fiance? I mean, do they have something?
I mean,
French?
anyone could be a
Was
fiance.
someone in here from France? I forgot.
You know what's funny though, making up words? I told you this, but I want to share with you guys. I ate a late breakfast this morning, early lunch. And I was getting ready, and I was thinking like, oh, I guess I'm not that hungry because I ate a pretty big breakfast, so it was kind of my lunch. And then in my brain, I was like, there should be a word for like a combined breakfast and lunch, something like blunch. And then I was like, oh wait, brunch is a thing that exists.
Brunch is a thing.
But my brain went to blunch.
I don't know. I've lived with my girlfriend for 9 years now. It makes me seem younger than when I had a wife to revert to. Just kidding. I'm not bothered either way.
The old wife.
Heather Locklear, complicated feelings for a young boy. My mom, I mean, like my parents immigrated here from the Philippines. So I think they definitely wanted to Americanize their children like from day one as much as they could. So I was named after Heather Locklear and my brother was named after Kevin Costner. The Bucks. I love the Bucks. Yeah.
Well, if you like that,
I love
then
this.
Ron said we should rename the show to Let's Get Bug Wild. Bug is a very easy name to play around with.
Hi, Sylvia. Happy holidays. Let's see. Completely understand your reasoning. As much as I dislike my last name, I can't imagine myself and identity without it. Yeah.
Well, because that's the flip side. Obviously, it's very common for girls to change their name when they get married. But the flip side, we had the discussion was, Heather's like, why don't you be Tom Ramirez? And I was like, I don't want to change my name. And she's like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, I get it. Gotcha. Done. Understood.
You guys, you know who I really asked this question to is James and Mark. I don't know if they're still here because James's last name is
It's the most convenient situation in a way, though.
His last name is Lee, but it's spelled with one E, so it's L-E. And then Mark's last name is Lee, but spelled with two. But they didn't change their names.
They didn't, but the hashtag legally married was unreal.
Okay.
What is Reggie saying? My wife kept her name too. It doesn't worry me. I laugh how Peter Lindgren says Tom Buck. That's a Swedish accent, yeah.
What does he say?
It just always says like Tom Buck. Like it's very like like the emphasis on that syllable.
Let's see. Hannah Montana's mom. Was she really Hannah Montana's mom?
I don't know. I'm not the person to ask.
Well, you became a teacher for something else, right? Was it you had a good teacher and you're like, I want to be that?
Every one of my stories ends poorly. I don't know why I became a teacher. I actually had a lot of bad teachers. I had a few very impactful good teachers. My most impactful teacher, kindergarten was great. First grade was amazing. My first grade teacher was like unreal. So fun, so interesting. I got like a Let's Play School kit for Christmas that year so I could play teacher and stuff.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is. He was awesome. He played guitar for the class. That's why I wanted to start playing guitar.
Aww.
And then I sent him a message when I was about to finish my teacher credential program about 10 years ago. And I was like, I just want to say I'm about to be a teacher now. Like, I still think that. And he was like, oh, he was still teaching. And he's like, oh, it's really nice to hear from you. I actually do remember. He was like, you went by Thomas then, right? Instead of Tom. I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, I'm so interested. I'd be interested to know what you remember from then. So 2 years later, let's put it this way. He's currently in jail for the rest of his life because of things that were happening from the early 80s to the early 2000s to more students and, well, not students, kids than they could find criminal charges for. So, yeah.
Well, I don't even know how to move on from that. Well, I don't know if you guys know this about Tom, but not only was he named Teacher of the Year for his school, he was also named Teacher of the Year for the district, like the entire school district. So how many schools in the district?
34.
He was the teacher of the entire school district. And then became the Teacher of the Year for our entire freaking county, which is how many schools?
I don't know how many schools, 22,000 teachers.
22,000 teachers. Out of them, there were 4 that were selected, and he was one of them. So you're amazing. I mean, I've always thought that, but it was really nice to get.
So it was the 2020 County Teacher of the Year, which at the end of 2020 almost sounds like an insult. You're the 2020 of teachers. Oh, it was like, I don't want to get too political, but this is my favorite joke from one of the weekend updates of SNL in like the past year was they said Rudy Giuliani went from being the mayor of 9/11 to the 9/11 of mayors.
Oh my gosh.
I think about that like once a day. And
Let me tell you, Tom's favorite show is SNL. In another life, you would have been like, which is so weird because you're a highly sensitive person, but like I think you would have been a sketch writer.
Oh, that. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I would love. I mean, it's way too cutthroat and intense, but like if you can get through that part to the part where you're just working on the thing,
I feel like you would have been like backstage SNL writer.
That's why
situation.
YouTube is great because you can just do it yourself. Not at that level, but at least you can just like, oh man, that's. Let me tell you, when I got to be a floor director at the TV station, not that like local news is anything, sometimes it's funnier than SNL. Not on purpose though. But when my job was to just be like in the studio, do the production stuff, prepare things, clean things, set it up, I was like, oh, that's still one of my favorite jobs ever. It's so great.
Here in Germany, saying partner is very normal.
I guess that's true. It'd just be a cultural thing. In the U.S., it is definitely.
It's not normal.
It's not like
people
weird,
don't
like
say that.
what? But like it's not.
Yeah, like you hear. It's just. I feel like it's weird for a couple in their 30s to still be saying girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. Like, trust me, I had to say for a long time before he passed my grandpa's girlfriend. And I'm like, they're in their 90s. But there's no other term. But also, like, a sixth grader has a girlfriend. I don't know.
Boy. Okay. Oh, she was the face of her mom. But before the show, she passed away. Wait, what?
Wait.
Is Heather Locklear still alive?
I was like, trying to Google things.
Oh, here we go. We kept our last names. My last name is actually pronounced as Lay. For years, I said it was Lee, but then realized I shouldn't pronounce it wrong for the simple fact to make it easier for others.
Yes, you're right. Because that's a thing that happens in my classes all the time is I'll say, I'll have a student, their name might be like Jorge. And I'm always like, oh, is it George or Jorge? And they're like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, it is your name.
Well, that's why you kept calling George. And I was like, it's not George.
Which, my student George?
Yeah.
No, because I called him Jorge until everyone started giggling at me because they've known him for 5 years. And they're like, no, that's George. And I'm like, he didn't tell me. I'm just going to call him Jorge.
Okay, Alan. My wife kept her name because she's a doctor and her endless numbers of old cancer patients would be confused. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that kind of...
I thought about that too. The personal brand, like Heather Ramirez, I would have to start over. I'd have to explain and all this and just... Yeah. Anyway, Joe Dexter, happy holidays, Tom and Heather. Thank you both for all your great content.
Thanks so much. Hope you're having awesome holidays as well.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, so about this.
I did not get selected.
He was nominated as a California, like the state of California Teacher of the Year. Was not selected.
Was not selected.
I really think you should have gotten it. That's what I think.
I have thoughts.
Yeah. Sure.
I have passed on my baton.
Let's see. Weekend Update is the best. See, you guys are like...
It's just so...
You guys are on the same wavelength, you and Jared.
Yeah, I know. Talk about there's like multiple people who are just one person in here.
Look at this.
Like last week, Dominic.
I didn't even like care about SNL.
I mean, it's not like people always say like, oh, it's not funny and so many of the sketches are unfunny. It's like, yeah, I mean, they do, I don't know, 10 or 15 sketches a week live. They're not all going to be pure gold. But when it hits, it just hits so
You guys should totally do a weekend update about the tech world. The news in the tech world. Oh my god. Okay,
I mean,
who's Michael Che and who's Colin Jost?
That means one of our wives is Scarlett Johansson. That is what that means.
That's not me.
You're pretty.
For whatever reason, SNL just doesn't work for me. I do not get why it's funny. I'm aware this must be a fault with me. Lots of people love it.
You know what's really funny? I just saw on Reddit yesterday, somebody posted an SNL sketch that's like, that I really love. I forget which one it is, but it was, actually I think it's a new one. I think it's the new car commercial. They did like a Lexus December to Remember thing where like the husband gets the wife a car for Christmas and there's a bow and it just like... devolves into like her freaking out about finances and how could you take on a car
that was
thing.
the last one.
It was really funny, and the comments were like, oh my gosh, like this is like classic SNL. This is so good, blah, blah, blah. And then tons of other people were like, why do Americans think this is funny? This isn't funny. So many people who are not American like did not like it at all. And other people were like, who were American were like, this is so funny. I think there's a cultural thing there.
I want to do, okay, guys, this is a future episode because I'm just fascinated by this. We need to do like a country differences episode, since so many of you guys are international too. Like
that's one of my favorite things about this show is like,
yeah, because we're from all over it. I'm just I love talking to people like from other countries. I think it would just be fun. So we're gonna table that. My sense of humor leans more Jon Stewart, John Oliver, Stephen Colbert.
Well, I mean, that's the smart.
Okay, Nicki Minaj on Stephen Colbert is like one of my favorite things. If you haven't seen it, go.
Stephen Colbert is, I've always liked him, but I had a semi-obsession with him when he started the Colbert Report because I learned a lot about him. If you guys don't know, like, aside from the fact he's a great comedian, he has this reputation, especially not so much now when he does like a network late night show, but when he was more in like Colbert Report times where he would go into these things and he would just put himself, he has no problem just going for, he's kind of fearless, whether it's for comedy or for an actual purpose. And if you learn more about him, when he was a kid, his dad and his brother were killed in a plane crash when he was like 11.
Horrible.
And then he had like a tumor in one of his ears, so it had to get removed. So like one of his ears kind of like sticks out and one of them is up, and he's deaf in one ear. And there was like, I forget what else. There were like other things that he overcame. So he's like this goofy guy. His whole like formative years up until like early 20s were just pain and tragedy.
Wow.
And he's basically said like, after going all that, like, am I going to be scared of an
Right.
interview? And am I going to be scared of somebody getting upset with a question? Like, no. And I love that he didn't take it to a negative. He's also, by all accounts, super nice, just super like family oriented, super funny, super smart. He channeled that and did something super positive.
Did you ever see
with
him
it.
live?
No.
Just Conan.
Yeah. Conan repeatedly.
Let's see. To see if he's finished eating, he's now washing his beard. This is the update. Regular Jill. My husband's first name is Ray. When people ask him how it's spelled, he says it's
Ray. R-A-3-Y. Ray with a 3.
Let's see. Jessica, I've had to deal with the name change in 2016 to match my birth certificate. In college, I couldn't take a graduating test because it didn't match. So yeah, I do not want to deal with that again. Yeah, I have a secret name too. Let's see. The three is silent. I love that.
Jared said I'm too nice to be Che. And Jared is, I'm not too nice not to be Che.
Oh, this is great.
They're a great combo. I'm so sad for like the day that they, move on or don't do anything. They're like one of my favorite update combos.
Weekly News sounds interesting. Jim Carrey and SNL. I know he's done.
Oh, is he done?
Well, because it's that other guy now.
It just, it was also Woody Harrelson for a while. It's just like.
There's one SNL sketch I love a lot, and it's the punk rock band reunite at a wedding. Mostly because I did exactly that. Same with my old punk band at my own wedding. Everyone hated it except us. That's so awesome.
Well, so the thing with SNL is I first started watching it in 1995 because, maybe 95, 96, because we got, like, our cable got updated and they added Comedy Central. And Comedy Central would replay it constantly. And it was a lot of, like, the old, like, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, David Spade, those years. And I just, every day would just sit there on, like, a little TV and just watch it, which was funny. So it obviously, like, forms humor. But the thing that was interesting was I didn't know what the show was. And I was just like, oh, it's the same person from the other thing. Oh, that's the guy who also does this. And so in my mind, questions started forming of, like, wait, there's like the band is playing music, or like they're doing this and they're doing that. This seems like it's recorded. This seems like it's in front. Like really like wondering like how are they doing it? Like he was wearing a wig a while ago and now he's wearing a suit. Like just how do they do it? Like how do they switch so quickly? And that was really fascinating to me.
That's crazy.
And the more that you watch it, then you learn those things. And sometimes like the host will do a thing where they go like backstage and walk around and stuff. And that was always like really fascinating to me. So it just pulled it all together because you could see the behind the scenes, you could see the finished product, you could see when it goes wrong, which is usually the most fun.
We've introduced improv in our lives recently. They've been interesting. Are you guys down to try?
I would love.
Didn't we look into this trying to do?
We
improv?
looked at trying to take like an improv class because it's just such a good boost for like
It's a good
communicating.
skill.
Yeah, I mean, if you host something, if you do whatever, it's an important thing.
I am terrified of doing that. Because as the first half of the stream, I'm like, I'm outgoing, I'm extroverted, I like being the center of attention, blah, blah, blah. I am incredibly painfully, like, I will sweat shy. And public speaking still makes me, it's just so hard for me still.
Public speaking is fine for me, but it's like public performing. So if someone's like, Tom, dance right now, sing right now. No.
Oh, see, I can do that.
And I just won't. I'll like literally like
go.
plant my heels and just like, you're not moving me. Nope, it's not happening.
No.
But the improv thing, like, I know like people always just think of like, whose line is it anyway? And it's like, okay, here's the thing. Now we're going to act super wacky. But the idea of you're trying to keep something going and like you throw something and I have to take it and build it. And it's not that we're outdoing each other. It's not my job to like be the funniest or be the most outrageous, but it's my job to like make something that then the next person can take and grow. And like, sometimes you have to shine the spotlight on the other person. Sometimes you take the spotlight. Like, that's the part where it's like, it's really fun. And anytime I've had like friends or students or whatever, where we can kind of like get in those little like riffs, that's always...
Was that Discord?
That's always really fun.
We should totally... I feel like that we should have an improv person on here to give us like tips.
Sure. I was like, where would they have been? I realized we could do it virtually.
This is how we have done everything all year, babe.
Yes, I know. I was literally on a podcast from Zoom yesterday.
I know. Did you guys? He like literally talked to Zoom, like
the educational wing of Zoom reached out to be. They do a podcast, and it was really fun. I don't think it's out yet.
You were a guest on their podcast.
I was a guest. Yeah. But it was.
Was it about your YouTube channel or teaching?
It was about both, like teaching and how are you handling it? What are some things?
So they have a podcast.
Well, it's one guy who basically...
You spit on me, babe.
Sorry. You're welcome. It's one guy who, he went home in March. He's their educational kind of person and had to start a home office from scratch, wanted his stuff to look and sound better, went on YouTube, did a little searching, found some reviews on this PodMic and Rodecaster thing, and then like... It all.
The way that everyone finds
Let me tell you, the money I spent on PodMic and Rodecaster is some of the best money I've ever invested. It has paid back dividends.
Jessica's definitely on my to interview list. I am only waiting for better upload speeds.
Oh, those speeds. Tusif was born in 1994. You know what? That doesn't make me feel as bad as it used to because the high school freshmen were born when I was in college now. So that's fun.
But he said Tom and I.
No, he said Cool Tom, and I was born in 1994.
Oh.
Because I said in like 95 I was watching.
Yeah, no. We were 85 up in here.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. Back to the Future.
Let's see. I feel like one of the reasons it doesn't fly here is that it literally doesn't play outside of the U.S. We get clips on YouTube or illegal streaming of episodes. But they put the whole show on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel.
But the production side of things, though, is... Like when they do the pre-recorded things that look like movies and then you realize they had one day to find the location, build the thing, write the thing, another day to edit it. And
crazy,
it's like the production quality is unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Aubrey took on her wife's last name.
Nice.
Let's see. Yes. I mean, I just like Weekend Update. There's a lot of times where I don't. Okay, so here's the thing about Tom and I's, what is it? Like preference for comedy. It's like totally different. Like I'm the person, I feel weird saying this, but like I'll laugh at like poop. That's like my level of comedy. Okay. Like silly, stupid, like probably immature, but like that's, and like his stuff, like half of it goes over my head and I don't get it. And it really like leans into awkward. It really, and like I feel uncomfortable.
It does. I mean, like one of my favorite jokes from right outside a camera frame, there's a Futurama poster. One of my favorite jokes, I forget exactly what they say, but somebody asked Fry, like, have you ever heard of the so-and-so people from whatever planet? And he's like, I've not heard of them. That's not even a joke. It's just the way that it's said. And it's so funny that like I can't stop.
I don't get it. Like I can't.
I mean, The Simpsons is where my sense of humor came from.
Yeah, which I have never watched a single episode.
But then you go through and you're like, oh, like half of the episodes that I loved as a kid were written by Conan. Oh, okay. Well, not half. He didn't write that many. But like, and then you realize all of the influential people that went on to do other things who Conan also wrote for SNL. Like, oh, it's all connected.
We pick a movie and have to reenact it. Okay, like name a movie, James, that you guys have had to do.
Ron's in the Michael Scott School of Improv. I don't want to say what Michael's go-to is because I don't want Heather's channel to get demonetized, but it's funny.
Oh. Do you two like spooky games? A good game with communication is We Were Here. Intense yet funny games can be keep talking, nobody explodes, two people, and one of them can't see the other screen. These sound all interesting.
Yeah, we're up for whatever. And
yeah, you know what we have? Okay, so we still have the scale model. We've made a piano. We have to build the whole. We are like 0.5% in, babe.
I'm off. I'm not making another video for several days. Not doing any podcasts.
I have 7 more videos to make.
I'm really excited about calibrating the colors on my monitor today.
I'm hungry. I want like McDonald's.
There's some really good
Robinson because my sister guilted me into it as we have a daughter with that last name. Yeah, I think if you have kids, it's different. Finley is Buck Ramirez.
he is literally with the American Kennel Club. He's Finley Buck Ramirez.
Let's see. I can't seem to like Michael at all, and I'm 6 seasons in. I started watching it last week because my BF loves The Office.
Well, I mean, I think he leaves in season 6.
Obsessed.
I'm on season 6 right now again myself.
Loves The Office right here, and I can't watch it because I get motion sickness.
The thing this might not help, but I've been reading I read a book about The Office, and I've been listening to like the podcasts and stuff, and I've always known Steve Carell's a good guy, but when you read all the things everyone has to say about him and all the whatever, he just like seems like the nicest, most genuine person. And watching the show, kind of knowing that it's like a totally different tone. Also knowing that one of his favorite things to do on their set was to like really push the other actors to like try and break as much as possible. And when you can find moments where he's just like really like prodding someone, but he's so good at keeping like a very just like he doesn't break. And then other people are like getting pushed to their limit. You can just, it's so like, that is really funny to me. I make her watch, like, you need to watch this little clip all the time.
There's an RPG I'd like to play with people. Maybe the Discord crew would be up for it. It's called Alice is Missing. Takes 2 hours and all happens over messaging. Why does that sound
seems
familiar?
like you would love that. I might love it too, but it feels like you would love
How
it.
is an RPG it takes 2 hours? Explain. I think I'm down though. For honor, we are the Vikings. Thank you. No Simpsons. I just like miss the boat.
Yeah, and the
okay, so here's the thing.
What is the thing?
What was on at that time? I was watching Doug.
I was also
Batman
watching
the Animated
Doug.
Series was my like favorite show. I don't know if that was like on at the same time, but basically I remember like I
mean, The Simpsons is still on, so it's all time.
I only watched the things that I actually liked to look at, and I did not like the yellow people.
The art style.
Yeah, like I don't like the thin lines. Like that's why I don't like King of the Hill. I can't deal with the thin lines. I can't. Beavis and Butthead. Oh hell no.
It's the same person.
Yeah. Like Futurama. I can't. They're like so rounded.
Overbites. I have a giant Futurama poster right here.
So I just never like. I was never curious.
I mean,
even give it a try.
I was a kid when Bart Mania swept the nation, so that was like, and it just.
I had a Bart doll.
I think anyone our age had a Bart doll at some point. It just happened to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed it.
But 3D Simpsons characters, like the dolls and the figures, I don't like them because they do not translate to 3 dimensions at all. They're really weird.
Oh, this is fun. We did Titanic the first week, steamy paint scene.
Okay,
first of all, you guys. We need to...
I feel like we've talked about this, but go for it.
Have we? On the stream?
On a stream or a video.
We did a video about it.
Heather and I have a debate about the paint scene. And
okay.
She refuses to admit that I'm right.
Oh my gosh. You guys can help us get to the bottom of this once and for all. So when you think about the steamy paint scene from Titanic...
There's a line that... what's her name? Kate Winslet says to Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's the thing that sort of is like...
This is the iconic line from that scene.
Yes.
The iconic line, okay? So what do you think of when you think of that scene? Like, what's the line that she says?
I'm going to scroll down in our comments here.
Because we completely...
Oh, James is a Simpsons person, and he said 3D Simpsons scare him.
Yeah, I know he...
Yeah, I forgot, because he'll send me, like,
I was
Ralph
excited
gifts.
because I was like, oh, yay.
I mean, that's how, like, some of my best friendships in life were formed just by spouting Simpsons references at each other.
Okay, so steamy paint scene. Should we tell them what
Well, I want to
say?
see. I want to see if anybody has.
Okay, we're gonna wait for someone to say what they think it is.
It's like sometimes you might see this if you find like a picture or a meme of people kind of laying in a similar thing, and it'll say like a quote from the movie on it.
Oh hell no!
Thank you, Ron.
Ah.
Thank you. Paint me like one of your French girls.
No.
Clearly.
You guys, it's
Well, wait. See if
okay. If someone else says it,
that's
come
what
on,
I
come
say.
on, guys.
That's what I say. He said no one remembers the damn line. That's what I say. It's if the dog is laying upside down in a weird way, you're like, paint me like one of your French girls. But there's another. There's another line that Heather says is the more famous one from that scene, and it is a very funny line.
It's the famous line. It's the one that like
I don't think it is the, but it's Tisif agreed with Ron.
James, help me out here, dude.
The one that Heather says, I didn't even remember it honestly, but
I didn't remember your line.
But since she's brought it up, I have really enjoyed like saying it at like random times. It's really funny. I don't know if anyone's gonna guess the other one, which is a line in the movie. It's real. It's not
like the most famous line.
I know improv is all about yes and, but the thing
Somebody help me.
Maybe somebody's listening to the audio version. They're screaming at their car stereo like blah blah blah. The line.
No, it's not.
Tisif is agreeing with me.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it because no one's saying it.
No one's saying the most famous line.
No, it's draw me wearing this, wearing only this. She's holding the heart of the ocean, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be naked.
Which is really hilarious.
To me, that's like that's the line.
Like Ron's line, eyes up here, buddy. I'll never let go. That's like the end. We say that.
Yeah, but the Stevie paint scene, it's like draw me wearing this.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Wearing only this. I didn't even remember that she had French girls were even
His
involved.
whole portfolio was just full of French prostitutes.
Yeah, but the heart of the ocean was like the movie, my friend.
That's true, but
anyway, gosh. So. Yeah. I'm going to go out. Okay, Mark's going to settle it. What do you think of?
Mark gets to be the deciding vote. He's the vice president of the Senate.
All right, we got 21 people in. Let's do a circle back check-in. If you are just tuning in, give this video a thumbs up. We appreciate you. We are just hanging out. We've talked about all kinds of things on this stream, and I don't know how long we're going to go, but Heather's starting to get hungry.
Tom had lunch, so he's not that hungry.
Trust. She says she's never going to let go there, too.
Tusi said he didn't even remember that line. No, it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah, she's holding the heart of the ocean. She goes up to Jack. And
she pulls it out of the safe.
Yeah, draw me. I want you to draw me wearing this, wearing only this. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm supposed to draw you naked.
Ron said, I love that the line stuck with it. This is making me. It's been like a year we've been having this discussion, and this like actually makes me feel so good. Not because I don't want Heather to be wrong, but just because I thought I was crazy. I was like, have I been spending 23 years thinking that the line I thought was famous isn't famous?
Dude, are you kidding? Now I gotta know. I gotta do a freaking Instagram.
Literally,
Twitter poll.
If you just do a Google of draw me like one of your French girls, you're just going to get page of meme after meme after meme.
Yes, the same thing. Draw me wearing this.
It's going to be just... I don't know. Bob is still laughing at Blunch. Mark is team Heather on this. Oh, Finley's team Heather too.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry,
Blunch.
I scared Finley.
Oh gosh. This is sort of unrelated, but it's kind of related to Blunch, and I don't know if I'll get another chance to share. I love this.
Hold on, I need to leave this on here, and we need to do
the other person who's wrong. But you know what? I'm going to call shenanigans because you guys have been friends for like years. What if you
We've never talked about
what if you
this,
polluted
okay?
his memories by constantly saying this line?
Dude, we did rewatch it. We watched a movie a year ago, wasn't it? It was February.
Yeah, we've rewatched it several times, and every time the line comes up, we have this discussion because both lines are said like really close together in the movie. They're both
it's
in
like
it.
the same
It's
scene.
not like a Luke, I am your father, where it turns out he never actually even said it.
Oh, he never did.
He says, "No, I am your father." He doesn't say, "Luke, I'm your father."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time we watched Titanic, it was in February because we were at your mom's house, and
Right.
then we went into a whole like how did they make Titanic, and like to this day, it's just absolutely fascinating how they made that movie, and I think it just gets more fascinating knowing that they made that movie almost 30 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Ron said, "Remember me with this line and only this line." Oh wait, James said he didn't give Mark choices; he just said it. He just said the quote about clothes. So I went with Heather. Well, that's more about clothes than French girls. So I'll give you that.
See.
I mean, for the most famous line being like the thing she said about the clothes, sure, you can have it. It's Christmas. You can win. You can have that gift.
I don't want that gift. I don't want that gift, babe. All right. So here we are. This has been fun.
This has been very fun. I enjoy this. It's been nice to it's been fun. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say just real quick, unrelated semi. The Blunch thing was making me laugh.
We're going back to Blunch?
We're going back to Blunch.
Are you hungry, babe?
No, because the thing about it is coming up with a name for something that already exists. And I remember this happened repeatedly, like when I was like early 20s, like in college. I remember I was hanging out with like my video store friends. And one day we were like walking on the sidewalk and we were talking about like, I wish like every sidewalk was a moving sidewalk, like at the airport. And the frustration with moving sidewalks at airports is that they're slow. And so my friend was like, yeah, I wish it was a moving sidewalk, but like they're really fast. But that'd be kind of dangerous. So you'd probably have to like enclose it so that people didn't fall over. But then it'd be dangerous for other people. So you would want to like be like put it underground or something. And I was like, you mean like the subway? And then we realized that they had invented the subway, which was just weeks before we were at the video store that I used to work right out of high school. And, you know, people were renting their movies. It's a thing people used to do. And I remember going like, this is so interesting. I wish that there was something like this, but for like books. Like you have an account and you can check out a book and then bring it back, which is also known as a library.
Okay, really quick. We have to finish this Titanic discussion because the ending,
This Titanic discussion. Okay.
So there's another thing that we disagree on.
Oh, the ending of Titanic.
So
yes.
if you haven't seen the Titanic, I'm sorry, we're gonna spoil it right now.
Wait. Sorry. I need to set James's thing because he said video store friends, a lot of Dickies, uncut hair, and a tinge of BO. You're not wrong. But my video store was a locally owned chain, and so we were required to wear slacks, shirts, and ties. It was and dress shoes.
Yeah, but you know how there's that like there I don't know if it's still a thing, but there was that thing that like everyone who works at Trader Joe's is hot. That's where my babe worked for 4 years. Making signs.
Making signs. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
The ending.
So
so if you haven't seen the Titanic, I'm sorry. It's a fantastic. I really think that
it came out in 97. If we spoil it for you, also the ship sank 115 years ago. So
okay, so the very, very, very last scene in that movie. Okay, she drops the
heart of the ocean into the ocean,
and then like it cuts to her on the bed, and then it changes into like the camera pans through the Titanic and it fades into a scene where Leo's waiting on the stairs.
The camera starts in her cabin because she brought all her stuff with her, and so it goes by all the photos that show she not only did everything that she told Jack that she was going to do.
You're already explaining your stance on this.
No. I'm not. I'm just like, it shows everything she said she was going to do. She did, and then she went on to also have like, you know, she did everything she told him she was going to do.
I feel like I'm going to lose this one.
And then it pans to her and she's in her bed, very peaceful. And then it goes up and it goes to like the camera sort of floating down. Oh no, it goes down into the ocean to the wreck of the Titanic.
Yes.
And then it transitions into the like pristine version of the Titanic, and it goes into the door of the where
like
the grand
the entire
staircase
cast
is
there,
and everybody's there, and it's like her point of view because like people are opening the door and like looking right in the camera.
Yeah.
And so it's clearly her point of view, and then eventually it switches, and Leo's like sitting at the
looking
clock,
all cute,
and he turns and they grab their hands and
well,
they
he
kiss,
turns,
and
then the camera pans to her instead of her point of view. It like
it's
turns
cool.
on her, and it's her as the young version of Rose.
It'd be great if it was the old lady.
Okay, so here's the thing that we disagree on. What do you think?
She dead.
Okay, so Tom thinks that she died, like in the bed, like she's an old lady. She died. She went to heaven.
She's over 100 years old. I don't know if she died. She's over 100 years old. She went there. She relived and resolved this thing. It came like this thing that she had kept like secret for her whole life almost. She kind of like revealed it to her family. She revealed it to these people. She returned the heart of the ocean to the place that, you know, where it came from. And then she, in my theory, she would die in the same place where Jack died. Because she's on the ship right above the Titanic, the wreck of the Titanic.
I just feel like that's too Hollywood of an ending. So I think she just went to sleep and had a dream.
Here's my biggest clincher, though, which is why I really do dig heels in. Everybody in the Titanic was somebody who died. None of the people who survived are there. It's only people that you know.
The only freaking person who survived was freaking
her
Billy
evil
whatever.
Well, he ended up like committing suicide.
Oh yeah, like who else?
So yeah, Billy Zane is not there, but it's like it's people that specifically you know died. Which sure, yeah, it is a lot of the main characters.
No one else survived.
I'm just saying, hey, Kathy Bates ain't there.
Is she not?
She survived.
She's not in the last scene.
She's not in the last scene. Mic drop.
I just think that
wait, here's the sound of the mic
she
dropping.
Went there to go die?
I don't think she went there to die.
I just think that she's having a dream.
I think she unburdened herself and was able to
die.
Died? If the people from the Notebook can just will themselves to death together, then I think this 104-year-old lady. Anyway, sorry. That was my thing, but I'm open to you making your case as much as possible because that's the beauty of it.
Dan is here. Hi, Dan. Happy holidays.
Yes, happy winter break to you too.
Let's see. I've not learned anything about somebody. That was a couple seconds ago. Let's see.
Ron used to manage a video store.
Are you kidding me?
I was assistant manager.
Assistant
to the manager.
Tom would be great at Trader Joe's. Everyone is so friendly there, right?
It was a very fun place to work. Cute. And you work 3 days a week. You get health insurance. It's great.
Definitely died. Of course,
David says she's dead. Ron says she's dead. Mr. Camera Junkie said she passed, I think.
I just feel like she was like fine.
Because the other option is she didn't die. She had a great dream. She went home and then like faded away at a weird nursing home 2 years later. I don't know. That's just not as good. Like,
I just feel like, yeah, she had a whole life.
And it ended that night.
Like, was Jack the most significant thing to happen to her when she was like 19?
Well, it's like literally
she had, like,
Romeo and Juliet.
100 years of life after that.
I know, most of her time. But those things were set in motion because of who she became on that ship through him, and then she abandoned her family. I guess her mom is just whatever.
She's deader than Disco.
But David said, "Whoa, Disco will never die." Oh, Ron did say Molly wasn't there.
How did she imagine all that high-tech equipment and researchers and all that?
Well, not the.
No, like that happened.
Yeah.
But it's the very end of the movie where like they never find the heart of the ocean, and that's why the researchers are even there in the first place. They're trying to find the treasure.
It's after she's told them this whole story, and she's like,
end, yeah.
she's just regardless if she's dead or not.
Rails. She's like stepping on the rail. She drops a thing. And it like goes floating down the ocean.
Yeah, she's like, oop, and then it drops because she had it the whole time.
In like her bed,
which is also proof that she was telling the truth of everything.
I just feel like literally, so you had enough strength to go drop this thing up in the ocean, then you're gonna go to your bed and just die.
Okay, the end of the Notebook, which is not the same cinematic universe, I know, maybe, but.
Wait, who directed Shawshank Redemption?
Steven Spielberg.
Okay, so he said that he didn't want that very last scene where they reunite on the island. Like, he didn't want that. But I don't know. It was something about, like, playing to the Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
So I think it was like what is the company that like distributes it or whatever?
Yeah, the studio.
The studio was like, you have to put it in or else whatever, and I guess they put it in. But I remember thinking like, oh, it shouldn't. It's too like, that's not real. Like that stuff doesn't happen. And it's the same thing with this. Like, it's too good to be true that you died there.
I know, but I mean, maybe that was a studio thing. I know, like, James Cameron's whole thing in the first place was like, I want to research the Titanic, and this is a way for me to get to go explore the Titanic. So
Quick
that was
Google
the impetus there.
search. James Cameron wants you to decide what you want the ending to be, so we're both right.
Yeah,
Boop, 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 boop,
I'm
boop,
cool with
boop.
that. I mean, there's a heck of a lot of evidence.
Yeah, because she went on to have another husband who she's had a
I know
wonderful
that's the
life
guy
with.
I feel really bad with.
Yeah,
He didn't know
and
about
kids
any of
and
this.
everything, and like, you're gonna go back to the first boyfriend, like
The 19-year-old like fleeing on the
yeah,
ship.
the 3 days. 3 days. You hooked up once.
Romeo and
Come on.
Juliet takes place over 3 days. Ironically, also a version with Leonardo
He
DiCaprio.
was so cute.
I love that version. I used to teach that in class.
She died, but there was space on the damn plank, Kate.
That's you can scam likely over there. Yeah, that's the other thing is like 100%. There's no reason he needed to die.
Could be a dream, could be death. She went there to throw fortune in the sea and deny pill packs to kids at college education.
This wasn't a game. This was his life.
I like Tom's ending. I'm starting to think I didn't pay attention to this movie. Okay, seriously, like when you watch that movie as an adult, like especially I think
It hits a little different.
when you make YouTube videos, like I just have a different level of appreciation for production in movies. And it's just knowing that they made that movie at the time, like not having all the equipment that we have now, it's like, it's really admirable. Guys, it was a Titanic, not Interstellar. Also, Interstellar is a wonderful movie. I love that movie so much.
It is great.
She almost died telling a story in the movie. Did she?
Didn't they? Well, I don't know. I don't remember. I thought there was a point where they thought like.
I haven't watched The Notebook, so I'm muting this.
Oh.
Oh my god, I read The Notebook before it was even a movie. I read it on a plane, and I was bawling on a plane trying to get my brother not.
I mean,
to
that movie
see.
came out in 2004. You've had time.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
see-
planning to die, but it's pretty chilly on the deck at night.
I think if you wanted to go down that route, in my theory, which I'll say is a theory.
I
not-
just feel like she went back to the place. She's recounting the story. Of
Yeah.
course, you're gonna have a dream about it that night. That
That-
to me is more realistic.
That- I
Like when
think-
you think about, you recall a thing, and then all of a sudden,
I think realism is right. Earlier in the movie, though, she says a woman's heart is an ocean of secrets. You have to tell me if this is true or not. And
babe, I'm an open book, babe.
and she had been keeping this whole thing, which wasn't just the fling on the ship, but it was the traumatic ship thing. It was the relationship with Jack, but it was also how that put her life in a different direction. And then it was also like, that's where she broke with her family. She like that. I mean, that's the biggest thing there. She was on a track that like her family legacy was putting her on. And she went and did her own thing. She'd held that in for her whole life, which at that point had been almost a century. And she finally like, not only was she back there, not only was all the things coming back, not only she revisited, but she finally let those secrets go. And I think that you could argue that that was the thing that let her like, I am done.
And our special guest for today is Kate Winslet. Yay!
We waited an hour and 26 minutes.
Oh my goodness. If you like Interstellar, watch Predestination.
Predestination. Interesting.
I've never heard of that.
James says he's just been busy for 16 years.
Thomas.
It's been a busy 16 years. I know.
I'm more of the lake house kind of person.
We were just talking about the lake house.
I know,
The
that's
time-traveling
so crazy.
mailbox.
I loved the lake house.
I like the thing that I love about
loved
the
that
lake
movie.
house is I'm so obsessed about like, this is what this place is. This is what it used to be. This is what happened here
Oh my
before.
God.
This is
Let me
what's
tell
happening
you,
now. And that
Tom,
movie's all that.
Like when I met him and I first was looking through his Instagram, because I'm trying to check out this dude, and he had so many pictures of like, this is Disneyland in the 50s, and like here it is now at the same spot, and like
Yeah.
it's him like Literally,
I would like
taking
go
the
find an
same
old
angle.
postcard from the 50s and try to find the same angle and like this
And
is
this
where it
is why
now.
I had such a. It's so funny looking back. I had such a like fondness for Disneyland in a way I'd never have before because you were so obsessed with it, with the whole like, this is what it used to look like in the past or whatever. And we would go through. We went to Disneyland the second time we met. Go through Disneyland. It's like this is where this was, and this is where.
I'm
this
definitely
was.
one of the annoying fact people at Disneyland. So if you
Like-
ever go with me, if it ever opens again.
Yeah, like this is the spot that's the
I'm not
center
like
of
a
Disneyland.
Disney obsessed person. It's not the center of Disney. It's incorrectly believed to be the center, but it's the surveyor's mark that's like never mind. Anyway, I'm not like Disney mania obsessed, but like Disneyland, the history, the everything that goes
business
into
of
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it.
Let's see. Belfast has built an entire tourism industry around the Titanic since it was built there. We've got a massive museum, best thing we're known for, and it's saying.
Actually, that was when I first met Ron the first time we ever talked. I was like, "Oh, Belfast, that's like where Titanic's from," and he was like, "Yes, if
Isn't
you ever
that
come
where they
here."
filmed God?
And actually, I just got updated 23andMe genetic results right before this podcast
He
started.
thought of you. You're
And,
the first person he thought of, Ron.
Yeah, they located a significant part of my European heritage to Belfast.
Rose don't the next few years booking up with strangers on boats, but it was never the same. Let's see. D-Fame is still earlier. All the ghosts of the ship don't let her go. I'm Keanu Reeves' number one fan. Did you see?
Oh, the one movie, the one where like Keanu Reeves
like
is in this.
the boyfriend?
It was for Always Be My Maybe.
Yeah, that was funny. Where he played himself.
It's a Netflix original.
That was cute.
That movie is actually hilarious.
Yeah. I would have Sandra Bullock over for brunch. I love her.
Speaking of,
I love her so much. Which watching Miss Congeniality in 2019 is there's a lot of interesting things in that movie.
What about 2020?
That's when we saw it because you
okay.
were doing it for a podcast.
Oh, right.
Let's see. Those kinds of pictures continue to help me realize there are just so many people who have lived lives, been here and there. It's so cool. Yeah, Tom is definitely one to. I mean, I love that too. We appreciate like this is where this happened and stuff like that. I bought Cyberpunk only for him. That said, just waiting for bug being fixed and I'll play.
Now I'm so out of the.
Oh my god, the
Cyberpunk.
whole Cyberpunk drama, so crazy. My heritage comes from Antarctica.
That's because you're so cool.
If we're talking about celebrity crush, Emma Watson tops.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Watson. I love her. She's great. Who is your celebrity crush? Oh, I have my celebrity crush.
Chris Pine. She can't look. She pines for the pine.
Which, by the way, Wonder Woman comes out in 2 days. We gotta watch it.
Yeah. I like Chris Pine too, though. I think he's great.
Okay, Tom's celebrity crush, I feel like makes so much sense.
I have two.
Like 100%. If we
Which
do
one?
here in real life, I'd be nervous. You have two. Oh yeah.
Kind of the same person. And I mean, like,
The one I'm not so worried about. The other one I would be more.
who are you worried about?
Anna Kendrick.
Oh. But I have a very specific. I have a crush on her in 50-50.
What's that?
It's a movie where it's a movie that came out where she played like a psychology intern, basically. I mean, she's like not the main character in it at all, but it came out also right when I was doing like student teaching, so I was in the same role.
She's super cute. She's girl next door. She's what is it? She's like a comedian, which I feel like you can really connect with her on.
My other one, which if I had to pick one,
Okay, let's say it at the same time. We're gonna say 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Mandy Moore.
Which
Girl next door. There's a theme here. Which, by the way, would not consider myself girl next door, babe.
well, because you lived in Long Beach. But here's a fun fact about Mandy Moore. She was hosting in 2000-ish. She was hosting an MTV show because that's when she was like the MTV person. She was hosting a show that was all about like where were celebrities before they were famous, like musicians before they were famous.
Okay.
Part of it was Travis Barker. I was watching the show with my friend. She was in the Times Square MTV studio, which I got to visit later on when it was an Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever, Forever 21, I don't know. Anyway, she was talking about Travis Barker, Blink-182, and then they had all this goofy footage because before he was in Blink-182, he was in this other weird band called the Aquabats where he was their drummer. And then my friend and I were watching that and we were like, what is this? So we jumped on Kazaa, and downloaded some Aquabat songs. That's where that started. But then she did say, sometimes I guess you got to move on to move ahead.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, it was that show that introduced me to the Aquabats. So
it's all connected.
It's all connected.
If you don't know, half this wall is Aquabats merch.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Miss Congeniality in present day? Do you remember? Like, the one scene I remember was when all the dudes in the freaking...
It's like so sexist and
yeah,
inappropriate.
they're just like literally photoshopping her naked in the office and like picking her apart and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of lawsuits would happen nowadays
Yeah,
in a government
kidding?
agency doing
it's
these
still
things.
one of my favorite movies. I still love it, but like would not fly in 20.
Doesn't hold up in that way. But if you look at it as a period piece, holds up great.
Let's see. Hi, Ludwig.
Hello.
I'm a new viewer. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
I love your name.
It's a good one.
I say both lines are a tie. Sylvia for the win. Both
There we
lines
go.
are for
See,
or
equality.
Chris Pine is also crush of Gal Gadot. Let's see. I have a celebrity crush on Anne Hathaway. She's great. I
do really like
feel
her.
I have like a friend crush. Like I would want her to be my friend. She seems real dope. Anna Kendrick is one of those. You've thought of this. Time to scout out the neighbors and make sure none of those types are around. Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, there's the 4 Chris's. Pine, Hemsworth. We're all just going to talk about guys now.
Captain America.
Captain
Evans.
America, and there's another one.
Somehow my watch said I'm working out now. I've been working out for 35 minutes. I burned 0 calories.
Yeah. Thor is super cute. Mandy Moore is fire. Let's see. Chris Hemsworth is cold till RDJ walked in. If Mandy Moore and you were in an escalator and she offered you to make out, would you do it?
No. I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, no way. I am happily married.
Yeah.
I would say to my own Mandy Moore, but you're like,
if I saw
better.
Chris Pine in an elevator, 100%, I just want a photo.
I was like, I got real scared there because you were like, oh no, if I saw Chris Pine in an elevator,
No,
my ring is going into pocket. Like,
What? Are you kidding? No way. There's no way, babe. No way. Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, I don't want to judge people how they look. but I
JP
just feel
Davis
like
says,
Chris
and
Pratt just
Kendrick
like,
is-
seems like a
Chris Pine in Wet Hot American Summer is very funny. He's like, he makes a very unexpected cameo.
I don't even know what that movie is.
It's terrific.
We don't talk about it. Anna Kendrick is mine as well. Check her out in Mr. Right. What's Mr. Right? Who is the Mr. Right in Mr. Right?
It's got to be a romantic comedy. It
Besides
sounds very
that
familiar.
is The Stairway. Captain America is best because
'Cause
he builds PCs like me. I feel like I saw a movie with Chris Pine in it.
I have
Not Chris Pine, with Chris Evans before
Knives
he was.
Out. Oh,
Oh my God, Knives Out is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
that's definitely like an anti-role for him or whatever. Where he,
Oh my God, I love that movie so much.
that's a real fun movie.
Yeah, go watch that movie.
Whew.
I really want McDonald's.
We have that happen.
How are you feeling? Because you had a late lunch too.
I did.
Or you had a brunch.
I had my blunch.
Yeah.
The blunch bunch. I feel good. I
Yeah.
forget what I was gonna say. Something.
What were you gonna say, babe?
I don't remember. It was something. I got interrupted with the elevator talk.
I know it threw you
It
off.
threw me off.
Babe, I would never.
I know this. You know what? Like, because sometimes I would also, of course, never. Like, I would be a fool to put any kind of thing in jeopardy. But even like yesterday, I made a joke.
Honestly, I wouldn't care. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Because yesterday. Oh, Heather's been using one of my old cameras to do all our videos. And so she comes in here to like get batteries and charge and stuff. And I was like, oh, do you just want to take a battery charge? Like I was working here. I was like, you want to take a battery charge? She's like, no, I'll just keep it all here. And she's like, unless you don't want me coming in here. And I was like, I just have to hide all the dirty stuff I'm doing. I was literally like editing a podcast or something. And she was like, babe, like I was like, I'm sorry. Like that it was a joke because it was so ridiculous. But I know how I don't know. Heather's like just so wonderful and pure, and I love her.
Yeah, I leave the camera charger battery thing in here because I get to come in and see you.
It's great. I get a little visitor. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh,
hello! I brought the mail.
Oh, Ron said he has character crushes. Yeah, see, that's it. When I like, it's not like the person. Like, I don't want to like nothing.
Okay, character crushes. Let me think about this.
That's why I said Anna Kendrick in 50-50.
So it's her character.
The character, especially. I haven't seen that movie in a while. 10 years ago, when I was like in the same position, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what. Yeah.
I can't even think of.
Character crushes are tough. I don't know if I have. Oh wait. She passed. Oh, Heather passed. I was like, wait, did Heather Locklear pass away? I thought we were jumping back to our earlier discussion.
Let's see. Sam Rockwell. Who's Sam Rockwell? Oh, that guy. I think I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Mila Kunis is also Love. Watch the third person. Brilliant movie.
Sam Rockwell's Mr. Right.
Yeah.
In Mr. Right.
I'm trying to think of. Was Sam Rockwell the bad guy in Iron Man 2?
Yes.
Got it.
Like the millionaire guy.
Yeah.
He's also the guy in Moon, which is a very underrated sci-fi movie.
Okay, just watched Knives Out. Very satisfying to watch. So good. Like even the second time, you miss things. You gotta
That's
watch
just
again.
such a fun movie.
So
I love
good.
it. Bob said she could do it with McDonald's too, but it's 10 p.m. So, well, I think they're open.
Yeah, I wouldn't have McDonald's at 10 p.m. though. It'd be hard to fall asleep, I feel like.
Well, I haven't had McDonald's in forever because they ain't vegetarian.
Ludwig is naughty around this time of year with the elevator question.
It really raises our spirits, you know?
Yeah. Someone screenshot that face Tom just made. What face was it?
I think it was when you were talking about if you saw Chris Pine in the elevator. I think I made a face. Toussaint's true character crush is Hermione.
Aww. Oh my god. She used to, who was it that, Will Smith. He memorized the whole script of the show in the beginning. Like he would memorize other people's lines. Hermione did that too. Like Emma Watson would memorize and lip Harry Potter's lines and Ron's lines as they were.
There's a funny thing because Will Smith just did the Fresh Prince reunion special that Heather was watching and I watched it too. It's real fun. But he talks about in the early days of Fresh Prince, he would memorize the other actors' lines, and when they were talking, he couldn't help but mouth it along. And then they showed clips of him like in the show. They couldn't get him to stop, and the other talking, and he's just mouthing their
That's
lines.
so funny. But yeah, Hermione does that too. My celeb character crush is Bridget Monahan from Blue Bloods.
I've never seen Blue Bloods.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a very popular show. It's like not an anime, so we haven't watched it.
I know, dude.
It's not an anime. It's not The Office.
You guys, okay. I just finished an anime that was like so cute. I think it's one of my favorites. It's called Recovery of an MMO Junkie, and it just hits home for me because I'm definitely I would consider myself an MMO junkie. Yeah, but it was just so cute. If you're a gamer, I think you'd like it.
And it's like I'm excited to watch it because I only saw like one episode, but it was really good.
It's really funny. All of my character crushes are Pokemon characters. Archie.
My first character crush. Do you have one?
I do have a character crush. That's a cartoon.
Mine was from when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Dang.
I mean, you can have innocent crushes. It's just like.
Okay, who was it?
It was Gadget from Rescue Rangers, like the mouse who's like a mechanic.
What?
I just thought she was so cool.
Okay, I had a hardcore crush on this guy.
Who is it? Beat him up.
I can't even remember his name, but it's the main character from Batman Beyond. Like he is the new Batman. I can't remember. He was real
Bruce
cute.
Wayne.
No, now I gotta show you.
We're looking up Batman Beyond now.
Wait, babe.
Oh, sorry. She's using my laptop, but I took the mouse away from her. Speaking of mice.
Yeah, I look like this.
Oh, like in costume.
This guy.
Oh, okay. It looks like a millionaire detective.
Millionaire. Oh, yeah, he looked like this. Look, Bruce is all old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Terry. Yeah, Terry.
Terry, okay.
Anyway.
Look up Gadget for Rescue Ranger. I haven't seen what she looks like since I was like 6.
Rangers?
That's her, yep.
Oh, she's cute. Okay, I see it.
It's basically if Mandy Moore were a mouse.
You guys. Okay, we need to share this screen. How do you share this screen?
I think you can just take like the image, because we're using Ecamm. I can just put the image here, and it disappeared because someone turned on stacks. Oh. Here, this is Gadget from Rescue Rangers. She was the one who would like fix all their stuff. She was super smart.
That's cute.
Tinkery.
I like it. That's very cute. I didn't know that about you.
I didn't forgot that about me till we started talking about this. Because like,
let me show you guys Terry. Okay.
I've never really had celebrity crushes, so everyone's like, oh, because it's always like, what? No, I'm just not.
Okay, here, show that one.
Yes. I have to being it here. This is Terry.
Hey.
There we go. Here, I'll just put him over me. There you go. Is this what you wanted? Is this how you wanted it to be?
You're so stupid. Yeah, but you know what I also liked about him? He had like a Asian looking girlfriend.
So you had a crush on him because of his girlfriend?
I was like...
This is complicated.
Look at this. Oh, no, wait. Where'd it go?
Oh,
there it is.
There it is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she's Asian looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
So you were like, oh, like I have a chance.
No, I didn't think that. Anyway.
To Steve said, even at 5 years old, we had crushes we didn't understand. His YouTube crush is Heather. Sorry, too soon. And Jessica said, I've been seeing talk about Gadget on Twitter. They better not be doing like a weird reboot thing. I was all like, yeah, that was 5. Bald bearded builder says,
Mike, what's up? I'm Batman.
These need to be bigger there.
I mean, I consider you kind of a, you have Batman-ish tendencies with all your gadgets. Yeah. Anyway. Tom putting on his face, super creepy. That was funny.
It's just Ecamm makes it so easy.
All right, so what do you guys have
We've been going for almost 2 hours.
I know. What do you guys have going on for tomorrow, holidays?
Well, this will be a great. Actually,
are we doing? So we're not doing a stream tomorrow.
I just want to have Christmas Eve. We need to like, because it's not that we don't want to stream. I still have to make a video though. But at least in me, I need to get out of like thinking of like YouTube videos, strategies.
No, I get it.
I've recently this week gone through, and I feel bad. I've unsubscribed from a bunch of channels that I subscribed to a long time ago because now it's gotten into the point where I'm looking at them too critically, where I'm like, I don't like this about it, and I'm just thinking about why I don't like it, and then I'm thinking, I don't want to do that on my channel, but it puts me in a really negative, critical headspace, and so I just had to like purge because I want to just not be constantly thinking about it. But anyway, speaking of not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ron says Rachel Lee Cook and Josie and the Pussycats and the video for Newfound Glory's Dress to Kill. Wow.
That's
a deep cut. And Jessica says she's eating tamales. Yes, that is.
We should go and get some.
That could be our Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Tamale. They have veggie tamales, and then you could get pork and beef tamales.
Yeah. We're streaming
and James
Christmas
and Marcus
Day.
I mean, there's no reason not to. It's just.
Well, I think we should stream like early next week. I just want to change up the days for the people who can never make.
Yeah,
Thursdays.
I'm off all next week, and right? Yeah, I'm off all next week, and there's no holiday. So
let's do a Monday.
Other than New Year's.
Let's do Monday.
Yeah, we'll Heather's been very adamant about being better about like posting in advance.
Trying to let you guys know, yeah.
So we'll do that. Oh, and Jessica said, let's all visit James and Mark's live stream for Christmas. Yes, because we'll be there. Because then we can be a part of the stream.
Yeah.
And just chill out in our jammies.
Let's see. I'm live streaming the Carol service from Belfast Cathedral tomorrow night. Are you serious?
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's so crazy.
I mean, I hope you're having fun with that.
What time is that at? We should just have it on the TV.
That's cool.
This is a good question. Sorry, no, I'm really hungry. But what are your top 5 YouTube channels?
Mine? Lately, I'm trying to think of who I get excited about watching.
Charla. She's my girl.
I really lately have been loving. I found a guy named Chris Franklin. He has a camera channel all about really like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which isn't one that I just love. He's so positive and so interesting, so excited about what he's doing. His videos are so good. I love those. I really love Hugh Jeffries, who does restorations of. He's super into right to repair for electronics and also reducing e-waste. So he gets broken computers, broken phones, old ones, and he repairs them and like saves them from the landfill. It's super fascinating. Who else I've been watching a lot of lately? Of course, Mr. Camera Junkie, Peter Gregg. These are all the channels that are in my like thing popping up right here. I've been watching Bright Sun Films. The Abandoned series is super great. I love that one a lot. I've been trying to discover new channels. If I go,
I'm like trying to think of it. Okay, so I really like my favorite channel right now is Charmeleon. It's this Canadian girl who's been living in Japan for like years and years, and I just love her personality. She's super super sweet. I'm still a big fan of PewDiePie, so if I need a good laugh, I'll tune in.
Saber Spark has been really fun. He's the animated guy that like I showed you does like just still images of himself. He's like criticizing animated movies.
Yeah. The Try Guys, big fan of the Try Guys.
Try Guys are always fun. Device Orchestra is amazing. It's music, but all the music is being made by like electric toothbrushes and credit card machines and a typewriter.
Favorite.
It's
Vlog After College, one of our
funny.
favorites. Yeah.
Vlog After College. Yeah, that's a good one. That's just like a positive one. I mean, I watch like all the camera tech channels, but I feel like it's so cliche to like I watch these. DIY Perks is one I've been watching. He's super fun and he tells you how to do really cool stuff. I've learned a lot from those videos.
Are you tuning into Peter Gregg on Friday?
I'm not sure if he's going to do one on Friday because it's Christmas.
Oh, it's
Even though
Christmas.
he is the Christmas guy, he said he didn't know if he's going to do one. So we'll see.
All right. Well,
we hope you guys, one, thank you for spending a couple hours in the middle of the week with us.
this was so much fun.
Two, we hope you guys have safe, happy, and healthy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate nothing, we still hope you're safe and happy and healthy. And we'll do a stream early next week.
That'll
be the last one of 2020, probably, unless we do next Thursday.
I think we should do New Year's Eve.
Okay,
So we're going to do a bonus.
Oh, because our normal day would be New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so we're going to do a bonus one. We're going to plan for Monday. But if it changes, then we'll post about it. And then we'll also I think we should do countdown to 2021.
Yeah. So,
we should do it New York time, though. So
yeah, I can't stay up till midnight. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm old.
So we could start the stream at like, I don't know, 7.
Yeah, something like that. I did.
Which I know that rules out some of you guys. I think Ron's going to like
Mark
5
said
a.m.
my online class went overtime and I was late for your hangout. That's okay. I'm glad you got to be here for the last 5 minutes. Ron said thank you to us. Thank you, Ron. We're glad you're here. Steve said DIY Perks had a great video on R5 heating. That's how I found him. He water cooled his Canon R5. But then the thing that hooked me is this amazing video on artificial sunlight where he like he not just shows you how to do artificial sunlight, but he explains why sunlight, like the rays of sunlight, make it look a certain way and how sunlight shadows work.
Look at him. His entire demeanor changes when he talks about cameras. It's like a whole. And let me tell you, when he's on the couch, it's just cameras. 90% of the time.
Videos.
Like he literally loves this stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Ron says it's been fun to watch both your channels grow over the past year. Let me tell you, her 31-day challenge, seeing Heather like have such a blast.
It's so much fun. I love
on the
it.
31 days.
I'm kind of sad that it's ending.
Yeah,
but I cannot continue.
A real butt kicker.
I need to focus on other things, but I'm like sad.
I'm really excited for my video tomorrow. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Which one is it?
It's how to make custom LUTs for Ecamm and Zoom.
I'm trying to remember.
But I'm really excited. So you can learn how to make your own custom LUTs, and then you can also learn how to use those with Ecamm, and then in turn Zoom, which is fun.
Our time zone is Pacific.
To be specific. Anyway.
So I think this. Do you want to do an earlier stream again? This seemed to work for everybody.
On Monday. Or,
Yeah.
yeah. Next week we'll do an earlier stream because it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So maybe 12 again.
Yeah, it also works for us because our dogs aren't going crazy for dinner.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They were like
can
literally snoring
just
down
nap
here.
the whole time. All right.
Cool. Well, then it's time
this
to
is fun.
clear the table. Let me bring in this
Take
jam
care, guys.
here. Add in the Christmas spice.
Enjoy time. Enjoy family. Go watch some good movies.
Yes, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Nothing rules out to see you.
Bye.